Mr. Divas. Welcome back to another YouTube live with me, Tom Hamlet. So happy to be here. I love my Thursdays now all of a sudden because of this. So you guys really are a bright spot in my Thursday. So I'm really happy to be doing this again with y'all. Sorry, I'm having some lighting issues. I feel like I'm like blown out. Blown out is an industry term for white AF. Hi everyone. We got a lot to cover today. We are chatting. Oh, well, first, some business things at the top. Emily Hanks was supposed to be here today. She had a last minute family thing come up, so she will not be here. But I'm here. And next week, we will have Emily here. So no need to fret. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. We have a lot of things to chat about. We have the Explosive Valley episode. We have some Watch What Happens lives that were kind of like popping off. Oh, excuse me, that were popping off with headlines. And then we are gonna recap Summer House season 9 episode. I believe it's episode 11, with I think maybe the greatest party to happen, the greatest themed party to ever happen on Summer House. So I'm pretty excited about it. Once again, if you are listening to this after the fact, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Dumpster Dive. It's youtube.com/Dumpster Dive Pod. And if you are also listening to this and you have never watched anything on the YouTube channel, I am now posting all podcast episodes in video form to both the YouTube channel as well as Spotify. Apple doesn't have the video feature just yet, so yep, you can watch a video version of the regular podcast on Spotify and YouTube. But let's get after it. Let's get after it. We have some people coming into the chat. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. I wanted to start out with a headline. I should add that. I'm playing with a soundboard over here. You know, I can add in laughter. That is dangerous. Me pressing that after every bad joke I make. I can also add in some clapping. You know what, guys? In the end, I am nothing but a clown with a mic. So, if you hear cheering, clapping, all those things, that is what's happening. Well, yeah. So the headline of all headlines came in today. Well, I say headline, it's more of just came in through gossip on the blind item pages, the Instagram accounts, and that is that Erica received a demotion letter, and this is time for clapping. Erica just received a demotion letter. I feel so vindicated for hating on her so hard the last couple weeks. Garcelle has to feel so amazing because this woman sat there and said that she finds Garcelle to be so incredibly boring, and then got asked to be a friend of for the next season. I do think if she's getting demoted to friend of, that we have some interesting casting things coming up, because I was for sure that she, Dorit, and Kyle would all be yes, Rachel. Rachel's making me laugh. I had the same thought as I said headline. Rachel says the headline, but actually a niche blind item. Well, yeah, you know, call me crazy. That to me, that is a headline these days. So yeah, she's getting demoted to friend of. Couldn't be happier. Justice for Garcelle. And I do think it's leading into some interesting casting things that are going to be coming up, because with her being knocked down a peg, that means that like the Fox Force 5 is definitely running low on members, you know? So I gotta think we're throwing in some new blood. You know, I think Bose is gonna bring in a friend. I think Sutton will definitely be back. I think Jennifer Tilly and Erica and Kathy will all be friends of. Just picturing Erica sitting at a table with the two other friends of, just like, so pissed. Oh, you know she's fucking pissed. And you know what? That's what you get for creating for mass so so masterfully creating a storyline of you decorating your home and claiming it to be interesting. So, in the words of Jojo Siwa, karma's a bitch. You should have known better. But add that to the soundboard. God, this soundboard is gonna be dangerous. Like, I already have so many ideas. Yeah, and then okay, there were two pretty great Watch What Happens lives that happens this week. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like watch that much anymore. I just kind of pop in and out when it's like a house. It's after a Housewives episode or it's like a huge celebrity. I used to be religious about it. I would watch every episode, no matter who it was. Um, but the excuse me. Oh, a comment just came in. Rachel once again says hi, Rachel. Did you catch Crystal and Cynthia on Carlos King's pod? Crystal said after watching from the bench, she could go back in and be great. I'm not opposed. I agree. I love, hi, Pablo. I love Crystal. I thought she was great. Like if Robin Dixon could last 8 seasons, however many she did on kind of having a boring persona, but drama in her personal life, I guess. I don't see why Crystal needs to leave. I thought she was great. She was relatable. She was also not relatable. She was filthy rich. She was great with the women. She was honest. I think the only thing with Crystal though is I think she understands the game a little bit better now than some of them even in it do. And she's just a little savvier. She's a little smarter. I I don't know that like her versus Sutton never really works because she's so much better than her. But maybe that would make for an interesting entry into next season. So you know what? I'm here for it. But we did have. I want to. We're gonna recap Summer House. I do want to touch on the Valley real quick though, because it's not the episode that is coming out of the podcast tomorrow is not dedicated to this last episode of the Valley. So this episode of the Valley, we get this explosive blowout that was featured in the trailer between Brittany and Jax. I thought we were getting this much later in the season, and he kind of he has an intervention with Danny and Jason. Also, y'all, it is crazy to me that it is Jason, Jax, Jesse, Janet, Jasmine, and Jax's real name is Jason. Sorry, I had to think about that when I'm saying all these names back to back to back. I'm like Jason, just um no. So Jason and Danny went over to give Jax a bit of an intervention, which Nia was on Watch What Happens Live and confirmed that the intentions of that was like this is an intervention. He decides to get help, and then a couple scenes later, Brittany is there. He's telling her that she's going to go get help, and she's like, "Work, you need help, but don't touch our child because because you've been with a girl. I saw it on the ring cam footage." And then they start fighting about that, and then essentially all hell breaks loose. She acknowledges his coke addiction on camera for the first time. And it's dark. This was one of the darkest things we've seen on Bravo, I will say. I also, though, was riveted by it because there's just some level with Jax where it's like he wants to be famous so bad. He wants to be in the spotlight so bad, but is kind of unwilling to acknowledge how messed up he is. And he kind of has gotten away with just being like, I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man. And it's like, bro, that's not going to work forever. Unfortunately, you now have a wife and a child and a home. You can't just hide behind these like adolescent excuses anymore. And he said he tried to get Brittany back on camera and be like, "Oh, what? Tell me you've never done it." The snowflake drug. Um, and she says, "I never said I haven't. But if you did a drug test right now, I would pass, and you would not." Let me play clapping again. So yeah, she clocked that. She crushed it. I'm so proud of Brittany for saying exactly what she's been wanting to say for the past 10 years, truly. And I just I the maybe I won't. I don't want to talk about it here. But if you go to Samantha Bravo historian Samantha Bush on Threads, she posted a couple things about this interaction that are really interesting. One thing was Jax had covered the cameras in the house, like the ring cameras, with the security cameras, with a deck of cards. Like he put gum on cards and put it all over the house. Fucking weird. And then two, he had flipped all these pictures backwards. It's not like when they would go film at Lisa Vanderpump's house and it was like a blurred painting. It was photos that he had flipped because I think that he was hooking up with a girl. He didn't want photos of his family all around the house. Tough stuff. And then there's another post that she posted about their child that is a very interesting post and has kind of garnered a lot of discourse around their son's uh, autism diagnosis and kind of like what kind of his reactions to Jax are. I don't know. It's very interesting. I'm not a doctor. I don't know enough about it to dissertate on what physical responses mean, but go kind of deep dive there. It was very interesting. Um, but apparently, this is not the time Jax goes away for real. Uh, Allegedly, this is the he goes away and skips filming for like 2 weeks, bails on rehab, and comes back to filming and is using again, and then goes away again towards the end of filming. That allegedly, this is what I've heard. Like I think we still get Jax more in the season after this because he bails. That's what I've heard. Um, but I love me some Brittany, y'all. Date night. I love me some Brittany sometimes. Sometimes when she's just talking in that accent, I feel cozy. I feel at home. And she's a great mom, and I just want what's best for her. I do. And the only other thing I want to touch on with the Valley is that our gay. Oh my god, I just blank. Why do I blank on his name? Zach? Zach? Zach. Wait, why am I blanking on his name? It is Zach. It is Zach. Sorry. Gays, we only have a couple names. I should have known better. I should have known better. Um, so there was a very disturbing scene where him and his boyfriend broke up because his boyfriend needs to figure out some visa things. He's from Canada, and um, they're talking on the phone, and he says that his boyfriend refuses to take his shoes off in his home because it's so filthy. Now, I live in New York City. We are a shoeless household. We wipe our dog's feet every time he comes into the house. We are very strict about rules in this house. Every once in a while, I'll break it a little bit. Okay, don't. Brian never listens to this, so he'll never get here. But like, I'll be like, "Oh shit, I forgot something. I'm not gonna take my shoes off and run. And I'm not gonna take my shoes off again and go get it. I'll just go get it with my shoes on." But it still gets like dusty. You have to really, especially living in New York. I'm sorry, y'all. In LA, y'all have no excuse. You're also on a television show. You're on a television show. You can afford someone to come clean your house every other Friday. Every other Friday. I promise you, do it. If it means that your boyfriend will come live with you again, I think it's worth it. Um, but Nia and Kristen were in Watch What Happens Live, and they were really making me lol because Kristen is sober as hell because they're both pregnant. And she just keeps saying to Nia like hates Janet. It's so clear. And she keeps being like, Andy would ask like, who in the cast is the least likely to blah? And Nia's like, I'd rather not say. And Kristen's like, she means Janet. um so yeah, it was a really good watch. Also, Kristen dragged Lisa Vanderpump again because Lisa was like trying to question who Kristen's baby daddy was. And on Watchers Live, she's like, you're a producer on the show that he is literally a cast member on. Like, please grow some balls and some sense. Love me some Kristen, y'all. Pablo in the chat. Hi chat once again. We have people watching, but y'all are not all in the chat. I love the chat. Now, granted, my sister isn't here today. She's going to see Sinners tonight, which is why she's not here. Which I did see. Go see it. It's so good. And my sister usually is the one throwing crazy things in the chat, but please hop in, ask a question. Pablo says, "Can we talk about if Zach's boyfriend is getting deported or getting divorced? It's giving weird." I think I think his I think he's still married to that guy. They haven't gotten a divorce yet. And in order to maybe get his U.S. visa or something, the divorce needs to be finalized. Like, there's some. That's my understanding of it. I don't think it's honestly that weird. I just think they don't want to talk about all the ins and outs of his divorce when that other guy did not ask to be on camera. So, um, yeah, that's kind of my thought. But it could be shady. I don't. It could be messy. I'm not really sure. Okay. Well, let's get into Summer House. So Summer House, Summer House, Summer House, Summer House, Summer House had the best party of all time. Summer House, this episode had the greatest themed party of all time. It was amazing. It was the snooze fest, not snooze cella. Um, thrown by our bed rot bitches. Wait, they need to coin that, or I need to coin it for them. Bed rot bitches. Has someone used that before? Sometimes I don't like saying that word, but I just said it twice. Um, maybe out in writing, bed rot, and then bish. I don't know. Um, anyways, so it was a bed themed party. Now it reminded me so much of one of my most beloved Sex and the City episodes when they go to Club Bed. It's right after Berger has broken up with Carrie. They go to Club Bed where your tables are beds. So you just go lay on a bed and drink Cosmos. Honestly, y'all don't know this about me because I'm either recording and you can't see me, or if there's video, I'm sitting up. I run on two speeds. Okay, I am training for my second New York City marathon this year. I'm running a half marathon in a couple weeks. I'm like out in these streets running, or I am horizontal, like deep throating a bag of tortilla chips, probably getting crumbs on me, and watching reality TV or reading a fairy porn book. So I'm either like legs up, legs akimbo, back flat, or I'm running 20 miles. So it's kind of like I live in the in between. The idea of a club where I could go lay horizontal and drink is something I'm definitely interested in. So just something I would like an invite to the next snooze fest, ladies, please. um yeah, so I love this theme. I thought it was genius. They had a like one whole area was like a night sky where they hung down like lights that looked like stars that you go run and dance in. So cute. There were trampolines everywhere that were just made into huge beds that you go lay on. Amazing. And like everyone was in the cutest, comfiest outfits. I'm sorry, this was a dream. So, kind of the big crux of this episode is the fact that Lexi and Jesse shouldn't be dating. They shouldn't. It's crazy that we're here and they are. It just they have known each other. I think Wes called it out in the episode at some point. He was like, "You met her a month ago. You met her a month ago." And I just they have pushed this relationship so quickly. It really frightens me. And Jesse is coming across incredibly controlling and incredibly I don't know. He's giving like he some of like the southern charm fuckboyery is I don't know if him and Shep had a call and Shep was like, here's what you do to be the biggest fuckboy of all time, but he's doing it. He's falling into line with everything, how to be a bad boyfriend, all those things. Now, I want to ask you guys something. Please hop in the chat, DM me after the fact. Why do we have exclusive and then boyfriend girlfriend? Because so for instance, my partner and I, we dated for like 6 weeks and then we became exclusive, but we just called each other boyfriends. But like if you're exclusive and you're not saying boyfriend, what are you saying? This is my exclusive fuck friend. Like what does it mean? I don't understand the line. Honestly, if someone could help me. I don't know if things have changed. I've been off the market for a quite a long time. It'll be 6 years in December. Should we clap for that? I pray you guys can hear the clapping because it says it's live for you, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in post. um, Rachel says to me, exclusive dating is before meeting the parents and then after as boyfriend girlfriend. Okay, we'll see. Here's something funny. I have a great story. Actually, I think I've told this here in regards to the meeting. I have told it, but we became exclusive, and he met my parents like a week later because they were in town, which felt a little crazy, um but I didn't meet his parents for a long time just because of other things that we won't talk about here on the podcast. But like I don't know that for me, I don't know that parents is the line. I think honestly, I just think exclusive is boyfriends, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 person, person. Like I think that's just what it is. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so they're kind of having these they don't know what to do. They don't know what's next for them. And the snoozy what did I call them? The bedrot bitches. They're like, baby, we gotta make some drama this episode. So we're gonna tell Lexi everything Jesse's been saying behind their back. Um, and they do that. It doesn't go well. It does not go well. Now I go back and forth with these girls. There are episodes where I'm like, they are the greatest cast members on Bravo. And then there are episodes that go by where I'm like, these are the biggest group of mean girls. This episode for me, um, this episode for me felt a little towards the mean girl side. Amanda looked a little too happy to be spilling that tea. I hate that I just said that. To Lexi about how Jesse was talking about that Lexi has red flags. I just am like, did you need to do that? It makes her good TV. But from a personal standpoint, from a friend standpoint, did you need to do that? I don't think you did. But you know, here we are. And it made for some pretty good television, which, you know, I'm having a great time. But in real life, I think I would have been a little annoyed at Amanda. So yeah, they tell Lexi, and Lexi does, in fact, go run to Jesse and be like, bro, what the fuck? And Jesse just takes no ownership, right? Like that's the thing about Jesse that's so crazy is he's just like, I can't control what my stupid friends do. He sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon. He's like Goofy. He is Goofy. If Goofy was a dick. When you listen to each other's heart. Shout out, Goofy movie. But it doesn't go well. And Lexi's just like, I'm mad. Like, I am mad. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you're pissing me off. I think you're being a draw. She's like, I think you're being like a drama queen. And I am pretty level headed. I have to give it to Lexi, y'all. I did not expect her to be so like with it in terms of like she's on it. She's like knows what she wants. She knows what she deserves, and I kind of like her. Sue me. I kind of like her. Mary says offensive to Goofy. Put some respect on the Goofy movie. Yeah, no, Mary. I actually take what I said back. If I doesn't Goofy have like an evil? I think Goofy has like an evil step, like a brother or uncle or something. There's someone evil in the Goofy lineage on something. Yeah, y'all. I don't think Lexi. Here's my issue with Lexi. I don't think Lexi is right for this show, but I do kind of like her. But there's some discourse online that Zell of Who Asked Me podcast brought to my attention. That is that people think Lexi and her family are trying to get their own show where it's like just us girls sleeping in bed together, going to casting calls. And I just don't think that they have that in them. I'm obsessed with their lip liner, and my obsession begins and ends there. Um, let's see what else is happening at this party. Oh, Carl is trying to fuck Sierra. I think this is a little. Wait, y'all. Why have I waited so long? The night before the party, boys' night and girls' night, y'all know where I'm going with this. And they all talk about the type of porn they like to watch. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Type of videos, the type of videos that they like to watch. And they're going around, and Carl says, I'm kind of into tan line videos. Uh, Tan line videos. I'm sorry. If I was at that dinner, this would be me. Tan line corn videos. We're saying corn instead of the P word. Sorry, YouTube. Um, Now, I'm not one to kink shame. We all have the things that we like. I have the things that I like. You have the things that you like. Okay. I'm not going to kink shame him on it, but, and I think what it is, it has to be about like excuse me, one second. Sorry, y'all. Allergies are killing me today. It has to be, I think what it is, it's like where your bathing suit covers is like my no square. It's like the area that like not even the sun can see that. And so I think there's something there about it being like there's like a forbidden line that you're not allowed to cross, but Carlito gets to cross. I think that's probably what it is, to be honest with you. I hate how I just described that, just to be candid with you. I do think that that is what it is, though. But I'd be lying to you if I'm not interested in, you know what? I'm going to look it up right now as we talk. I'm not going to pull up an image or anything, but it is okay. Okay. I'm seeing some things. It is a whole genre. It is, but like, it's like, wow. Okay. Wow. This really just kind of blew my mind what I'm looking at. What's the most alarming thing about it is that like some women have very different bikini choices. Like I'm seeing some lines where they're just like right above the titty, some lines the traditional kind of triangle shape. Um it's kind of like it's like a cheat sheet to a woman's body, I think. Boob, boob, vagine. This has gotten crazy. Y'all, I need to change topics before YouTube pulls this down. I'm doing the hard work here, so y'all don't have to. So, if you need to know anything more about tan line corn videos, please feel free to reach out. I will not be sending images to you, but I'm happy to answer any questions that I've just learned in real time. Um, so the face, you know what? The thing is, y'all in the chat are killing me. Evelyn, very informative. Well, I'm here. I'm here to, if nothing else, inform. Um, West was making me cackle this episode. His face at that dinner when he learned that Carl was into tan line corn. He literally was like, "See, I think I have wanted to be on a summer house type show because I do think that I would be a good time. Where I would make for good reality TV though is that when I'm in a situation like I cannot hold myself back from laughing sometimes in the most inappropriate times. Like if someone reveals something so personal, sometimes I'll just go like, "Oh my god." Like in that moment I would have started crying, I think. And Carl would have been like, bro, like that's my I was being vulnerable with you. It's okay, Carlito. I'm sure you'll find the thing is like I can't stop talking about it to be honest with you. The other thing about tan line corn or this the tan line fetish in general is that like it's it's just something that you can go out and do. Like you can just like you if he's like I'm into that, can you just go I'm just picturing him like making his girlfriends like lay out in the sun. He's like, "Did you lay out today for an hour?" Good girl. Okay, we got it. We have to actually move on. Um but the episode of Summer House ended. The by the way, the viewer spike since I started talking about tan line corn has really skyrocketed. Um, the no, I wonder. I'm sure most of those views are coming from YouTube corporate. No, but the episode ends on Paige talking to Lexi and is like, "Here's the thing, girl. Y'all have been together for a month. If you have red flags 30 days in, I think it just might not be the right thing." And you know what? You got to give it to her. Great point. But at the same time, I have been in those red flags. I had an on and off boyfriend for years that there were red flags on the first date, and I just forged ahead. We laugh now so we don't cry. So I feel you, girl. Like I've been there, but I want better for you, Lexi, as a newfound um Lexi head. What Lexi needs her fancy to name, and I'll be working on that. One thing that I did not appreciate in this episode is the Imrul hate. Wes kind of gave a shady comment about how like we get to have a boys night without Imrul, and I'm like, what is wrong with this man? He's so kind, he's so sweet, he likes to bone, but who cares? I'm sure he's into tan line corn. Well, that wraps up this episode of Summer House. I once again love to be invited to Snooze Fest 2025. So, Paige, if for some reason this ever gets to you, I live in New York. I'm happy to take the jitney out next summer and just kind of lay low in the background, like, hey. So, yeah. But let's get into some listener questions. So, people have sent me stuff here on Instagram. Those watching live, hop in the chat. I would love to hear some of your questions. Let me pull them up. Let me pull them up. Hold, please. Hold, please. I'm gonna start with something crazy. My dad sent me something that I don't understand. I'm gonna just maybe ask y'all what it means. His question was, "What about eggs?" I don't know what that means. Anyways, moving on. Next we have. I'm sorry, I do not know how to say your Instagram handle, but you have asked the Lils and Spooky Joes (parentheses VPR) new reality TV character types. What do we make of these gals? Now, this is not a new character type. Let me draw your attention to Rock of Love seasons 1 through 3. This character type was everywhere on that show. You were either a tan line corn performer on that show, or you were a kooky girl, a kooky spooky girl. So I'm here for the kooky spooky girls. I don't want to hang out with the kooky spooky girls, but I find them to make amazing television. So I'm here for the kooky spooky. Pablo says, "Do we think Carl and Sierra get together?" I don't think so. Paige was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was talking about them, and she was like, aesthetically, love it, but she was like, I don't think personality wise they're the right fit for each other. I think in the end, Sierra's still a little too direct for Carl's baby heart. You know, I think he needs like a true, like, little ditzy, sweet, heart forward, like, um, tan line girl. You know. Emma asks, where would you take Brittany for date night? I would take Brittany to a fast casual restaurant. I'm thinking Cheesecake Factory or maybe an Olive Garden, Red Lobster. And we would share some apps. Actually, you know what? Cheesecake Factory. Definitely Cheesecake Factory because we would get a martini together. because they have a massive martini. Um, yeah, Cheesecake Factory. Next, Sabrina asks, "How do we feel about the bed bugs and Lexi dynamic? The girls, as they call them." Oh, I got it. Yeah, we actually just kind of talked about it. I think they're being mean to her, but um, yeah, I don't love it, to be honest with you. Next we have Schwartz having Katie on his first episode of his new podcast is so desperado. Yeah, so Schwartz started a podcast called like Detox and Retox, where I think he just gets fucked up. Like they shared a bottle of wine and took mushrooms on the first episode, which feels crazy. The first episode of the podcast that you're going to be monetized. Y'all, I am sitting on here on YouTube chatting with y'all, you wonderful listeners, and preparing and watching things. I also do. We have 2 episodes a week, and I also produce a third episode a week. And this motherfucker is making thousands of dollars doing mushrooms. What am I doing wrong? Woo, getting heated today. Next we have misogynistic comments calling the women Jack States sluts and women who show tits for money. Oh wait. Oh sorry, that was the part 2 of a question. Let me take that back. I'm happy for Brittany standing up for herself, but I find it hard to root for her when she's still internally misogynistic about calling these women sluts and who show tits for money when referring to the people that Jax is with. Yeah, I understand what you mean, but it's the redneck in her. It's the redneck in her. That's what it is, you know. She's like, I think she just any woman that is a threat to her relationship, I think she's just gonna call a slut, even if they didn't like even if they're not a slut, you know. So I don't love it either, but it does kind of make me lol when she gets heated. And then we have, did you see Paige on Watch What Happens Live? Your thoughts? She is queen, in my opinion. Um, yeah, so I did watch it. I have a lot to say, actually. She was with my comedy North Star, my icon, the one and only Casey Rose Wilson. I love you, Casey, so much. And they were together, and Casey loves Paige, which was very exciting for Casey. And they had a great dynamic, and Paige looked like she was on a beta blocker and she was chill, baby. She was like, "Yeah, I make money now. What's good?" No, she honestly was it was so perfect to see her knock Craig down a peg because she was not heated by Craig at all. She was like, "I don't care what he does. Like, I want him to be happy. And I have no ill will towards him. And I got nothing bad to say about him except that he's been lying. And I just wish that he would not like further conversations about like infidelity and things that just weren't true." So, but she was like, "But I loved him and I wanted to marry him. So like, I don't have anything bad to say about him." Loved that. I also did love that she came for uh Miss Pat, Patricia Alchel. She said, because Patricia was saying something not very nice about her on Watch Evans Live, and she said, Paige was like, "Well, she claims to be a bitch, so I think she's living up to that." So that was good. And we gotta kiss the ground of Giggly Squad because Andy was like, "I have gone on I toured with Anderson for 4 years, and we did Radio City twice and did not sell it out, and y'all sold it out back to back nights." So for anyone saying, aka Shep, that it's a silly little talk show is extremely mistaken by the gravitas that the show holds and the reach that it has. So I'm very proud of both Hannah and Paige. They've made a really great thing for themselves. I just wish they would stay off the red carpet. Well, that brings us to the end of the live today, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of your lols in the chat, and I will be back next Thursday with Emily Hanks from She Is Speaking with Emily, and then the week after that, we will also have Kendrick here to chat and some more people. You guys gave me some lists of names that you would like to see here in the chat, and Kix is coming on eventually. We got to get her to watch some things, you know. But I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Once again, if you are listening to the audio version of this episode, reminder, I go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Okay. And then it becomes a podcast episode the Sunday, a couple days later. And then also all podcast episodes now are going to the YouTube channel in addition to your podcast app. If you want to view the podcast in video form, we have a great episode with Tim Murray and Michael Henry that comes out at midnight tonight. It'll come out at noon on YouTube tomorrow. And it's truly hilarious. I was crying laughing recording with those boys. They have a new show coming out called "Wish You Were Queer" on Out TV. We talk about that, and it's one of Trixie Mattel's new projects. So, yeah. So that's it. I said so many times, but I am going to leave now. Play my outro music. Y'all can dance to it with me and have a fabulous evening. Of course, Pablo. Bye, Evelyn. Bye, y'all. Bye.